Mark Rogers TV talking Penn State football. And if you're interested in doing sales for Mark Rogers TV, please contact me at the information you see below. All right, let's talk about the Nittany Lions. It was ugly last week against Temple. This team is not ready for primetime. They weren't ready for the Temple Owls on the road at noon on Saturday in week 1. Now let's backtrack a little bit because this program was given up for dead after the Jerry Sandusky situation. Bill O'Brien did a remarkable job. We know the deal. 8-4, 7-5. Sanctions against the program, scholarship reductions, bowl ban for a number of years that was reduced. So James Franklin comes on the scene. The scholarships are brought back into play. The bowl ban lifted. This program is still making its way back, slowly but surely, most likely surely under this head coach. We see the recruiting rankings, but these players aren't on campus, and the ones that aren't quite ready, especially as we saw against Temple along the offensive line. Losing 27-10 after taking a 10-0 lead, this was an embarrassment for Penn State football offensively. You can have the quarterback who's going to play in the NFL. You can have the receivers, but if you can't block, you can't do anything. And after the first 2 drives, Penn State could do nothing. 10 sacks against Temple. So to really magnify that number, consider that if that was prorated to an entire season, Penn State would give up 120 sacks. Well, of course, they're not going to give up 120 sacks. They gave up 44 last year, and that was one of the 5 worst figures in the country. That's how bad 10 sacks in one football game is, especially the microcosm, that one play in which Temple, with 2 rushers, got through max protect and got to Christian Hackenberg. So Penn State goes back to the drawing board. They were awful pass blocking and run blocking, but mostly pass blocking last season in 2014. They brought over a couple defensive tackles as offensive linemen in week 1, just prior to the 2014 season. That's how much they were hurting up front. But they got through it, and they threw the ball. And Hackenberg didn't have a remarkable season, and he got into some bad habits because he didn't trust the offensive line. In this game, 11 of 25, 103 yards, no TDs passing, 1 pick, 10 sacks. And that tells you a lot right there. He couldn't get the ball to his playmakers, Geno Lewis and Deshaun Hamilton. Consider these 2 guys caught 137 passes last year. They both eclipsed well over 100 yards in the opener in 2014 against Central Florida, a team that went to a BCS bowl game and won over Baylor the season before. They couldn't do anything against Temple. Who knows if Hamilton and Lewis were open, Hackenberg couldn't get rid of the football. So, yes, the offensive line is mostly at fault. It's also Hackenberg. He needs to understand the situation. It's been talked about among college football analysts. Needs to, at this point, until the offensive line proves otherwise, drop back to pass, hit your mark, set up, deliver the football. He can't go through his progressions consistently as it stands right now. Again, max protect, 2 Temple Owls get through and sack Hackenberg. It was unbelievable. Deshaun Hamilton caught 1 pass for 5 yards. Geno Lewis, 2 passes, 15 yards. That was the production out of 2 of the best wide receivers in the Big Ten. So Hackenberg needs to understand the situation. The offensive line has to get better. James Franklin said this week that he's going to alternate guys in and out of the lineup, but also within the offensive line. He doesn't like to do that. He likes to have 5 set guys up front in specific positions, but he's going to shake it up. Himself and offensive line coach Herb Hand have to do something, and despite Franklin not liking to go that way, he wants to see what the best combinations are until he finds something that works. It didn't work well in 2014, but much better compared to the week 1 debacle. They've got Buffalo coming up on Saturday in Happy Valley. Nittany Lions a 17-point favorite against the Buffalo Bulls. So let's talk some Penn State football. Let me know what you have right here on Mark Rogers TV.